Hello friends, welcome to Insights ICANN initiative. In today's video, we are going to discuss about five-eyed aliens. So before we further discuss about the five-eyed aliens, let's see the syllabus mapping and then the video components. Regarding the syllabus mapping, it is related to Gender Studies Paper 2, International Relations. Majorly, effects of policies and politics of developed and developing countries on India's interest. That means, obviously, events happening in developed countries like Canada, how it is going to affect India. Already you know this friends, recently Canada announced that behind the murder of Hardeep Singh Nijjar, it is suspecting the involvement of Indian agencies, of course that resulted to diplomatic blowout. And now India boycotted or India told these diplomats to leave India. Okay, so these Canadian diplomats, of course it was a retaliation to Canada. Then, so what are the components we are going to discuss in this video? In this video, we are mainly going to focus on why it is in news, these five-eyed aliens. It is in news because Canada is alleging that they got the information about the India's involvement in the killing of Hardeep Singh Nijjar from the five-eyed aliens intelligence. So in this context, an aspirant must know what is this five-eyed aliens and how it got originated, whether it expanded further by adding more countries or not, and what is the impact of this we will discuss in this particular video. What is the five-eyed aliens? Why was it formed? That means the rationale behind this. How does it work? Functions of these five-eyed aliens. Significant work done. What kind of work done by the five-eyed aliens? Expansion of these five-eyed aliens. And finally, India and five-eyed aliens. Okay? How India can get better things out of the five-eyed aliens. That means we can get the information cooperation, and we can also seek help in terms of the counter-terrorism. These are the areas we'll focus. First, we'll see some of the graphics. So this is the five-eyed aliens. From this image, you must be able to understand this five-eyed aliens is all about five countries, okay, which is of course USA, Canada, UK, Australia, and New Zealand. So these are the five-eyed aliens. USA, Canada, North American continent, Australia, New Zealand, Pacific, Oceania, and UK, Europe. These are the five-eyed aliens. Of course, there is one more alliance is also there. Out of these five countries, three countries together, they formed as AUKUS. Okay, that is a different one. And the five-eyed alliance is different. Now, this Canada is claiming that they got information regarding this Khalistani this terrorist killing from this five-eyed alliance organization. So that is the reason we are discussing this. This five-eyed alliance, it expanded further by adding few more countries, Denmark, France, Holland, and Norway, that popularly known as Nine Eyes countries. And this nine-eyed alliance added with further five countries, it was a 14-eye countries. So these are some of the names we given to the expanded form of the five-eyed alliance. Next, why it is in news? Like I said earlier, Canada is confirmed that they got the intelligence from the five-eyed alliance regarding the involvement of Indian agencies in the killing of the Hardeep Singh Nijjar. Okay, and regarding this Hardeep Singh Nijjar, Canada, India diplomatic blown out and everything that I already discussed few days back. If you did not, please check the international relations playlist, or else you can check the playlist of September month. Five-eyed alliance. It was formed in 1941. If you remember, 1941 is the time where the World War II was going on, between 1939 to 1945. And 1941 was a preparatory year for India before we launched the Quit India movement. In 1940, you know that this August offer given by the Britishers. And tell me students, which year they given the August declaration then? August declaration in which year? So this five-eyed alliance is about intelligence alliance, which comprises of how many countries? Five countries, like I said repeatedly. Initially, this was started as the phrase such as us, can, New Zealand, UK, eyes only. It was started like this. Later, it expanded into five eyes, then further 9 eyes as well as the 14 eyes, like I said earlier. Already told you what are those added countries in the 9-eyed as well as the 14-eyed alliance. What are the objectives? Like I said earlier, this five-eyed alliance mainly, it was mainly operated during the Cold War time. During the Cold War time, the entire world divided into socialism and capitalism. So these two blocks, they are having the suspicion on each other. Mutually, they are keep an eye on each other. They're spying on each other. Same like, there was this movie, MI, Mission Impossible. Like in KGB, Russia agencies, they're spying on each other. To counter Russia's activities, these countries, they formed as a group for achieving following objectives. What are they? Intelligence sharing, counterterrorism, cyber security, and IT sharing. So these are the objectives of the Five Eyes. Then why it was formed? Like I said earlier, it was formed in World War II in 1941 as a result of Atlantic Charter. In 1949, Canada also joined into this alliance. It was followed by New Zealand, Australia in 1956. That means its genesis was way back to 1941 and it fully grown in 1956 with the addition of the Australia and New Zealand. The importance of this alliance was more prominent, more visible among these nations, especially when these nations acted very coordinated manner after 9/11 attack in USA. It was not officially acknowledged till 2010. In that year, USA and UK, they released some classified information, and that information contained the reference to Five Eye Alliance. How does it work? Like I said earlier, intelligence sharing, security cooperation, mutual support to member countries, counterterrorism. Of course, nowadays, they are also sharing information related to the rising of China. Especially, this Five Eye Alliance, these five countries assigned with the responsibility of, like overlooking or, supervising certain regions. Like Canada given responsibility to overlook certain regions, UK certain regions. We will discuss about which country is responsible to supervise which region, especially regarding the intelligence. So they also help out in maritime cooperation, and UK, out of these Five Eyes, UK given the responsibility of collecting information from which part of the world. As a part of Five Eye Alliance, it collects information from Europe, West Russia, Middle East, Hong Kong, USA, Middle East, China, Russia, African, Caribbean, Australia, South and East Asia, South Asia. India falls in this region. And if you remember, last year we made free trade agreement with Australia. That also you have to remember. Okay. New Zealand, South Pacific and Southeast Asia. Southeast Asia is all about ASEAN. Recently, India-ASEAN Summit was held. Tell me students, where was that meeting was held? Recently, our Prime Minister also visited to India-ASEAN Summit, where it was held. Canada responsible to collect information from the regions of Russia, China and Latin America. And these five countries, they established one council, like the overviewing of intelligence and how far that intelligence information will be useful. This council will review that and it will vet the information, and if any information is suitable, then that information can be further forwarded to the respective member. Already I given this explanation. During the time of Cold War, these countries, they were successfully able to decode Echelon. It was developed to decode the Russian, Russian communication system. During the Vietnam War, by joining this Australia and New Zealand into this Five Eye Alliance, these two nations supported the efforts of USA in monitoring the North Vietnamese defense. What are the challenges? Of course, even though these five countries are developed countries, still they have some challenges in this Five Eye Alliance. What are those challenges? These challenges are, let's see, number one, these five countries, sometimes they are not having coordination among themselves, lack of uniformity and coordination in their foreign policy, and strong trade ties between the China and New Zealand. This is also one of the major concerns. And one more thing, USA, apart from these five eyed countries, USA is having some close relationship with countries like India. Okay, that may give a situation that where USA may discuss some of the issues related to Five Eye Alliance with these countries. Because USA now, that USA nowadays, it is launching various initiatives such as Quad 2.0. So there may be a chance that USA may discuss these issues in these particular platforms also. Then how this five-eyed alliance is relevant to India? In this five-eyed alliance, out of all the countries except Canada, with the remaining countries like USA, UK, Australia and New Zealand, we are having pretty much good relations. With Canada only, our diplomatic relations are under strain because of the Canada's pro-stance, okay, towards the Khalistan, pro-Khalistani stance. And here, next, we can use this five-eyed alliance as an opportunity also, especially we can allow this five-eyed alliance to mediate the tensions or to lower down the tensions between India and Canada. And we can take some information, we can take some help regarding the communication as well as intelligence. And India is also having very poor track records regarding the, terrorism threats and everything. So here we can take the help from this five-eyed alliance regarding the cross-border infiltration. And by being very good relation with these five-eyed countries, our visa norms also will be eased out, and our citizens of India, the travel conditions will be facilitated easily. These are some of the opportunities we can find with five-eyed alliance. So yesterday's video question, the Mekong-Ganga cooperation is an initiative of 6 countries. Which of the following is not a participant or not a participant? Which one is not participant? The answer is D. Okay, 1, 2, 5. Okay, which are not participants out of the 6 countries, which are in the Mekong Ganga cooperation initiative of 6 countries, which of the following are not a participants? Okay, so these are the countries which are not participants. Actually, they should have given which are participant rather than not participants. Okay, which are participant means Bangladesh, Cambodia, and this Thailand. Next, today's question, with reference to five-eyed alliance, consider the following statement. Read these 2 statements and pick the right answer. Mains question, compare and contrast five-eyed alliance, AUKUS and NATO. Okay, compare the AUKUS and NATO in terms of their objective, in terms of composition, in terms of their relevance in the contemporary global politics. This is today's mains question. As we reach to the end of this video, we will review quickly. So in this video we discussed that Canada saying that they got information regarding the assassination of this Hardeep Singh Nijjar and involvement of Indian agencies from five-eyed alliance. In this context we discussed about what is this five-eyed alliance, when it was established, and when other countries were joined. Then we discussed about 9-eyed, 14-eyed alliances as well. Apart from that, challenges facing by this five-eyed alliance, and the India's opportunity with five-eyed alliance, and what are the responsibilities given to individual member countries in this five-eyed alliance. So this is about detailed analysis regarding the five-eyed alliance.